Hi, friends. It's Mike. I'm an MBA. My dad was in insurance for Widener Electric. One of the firms he contracted with was Blue Cross, Blue Shield. He also contracted with the Hartford of Connecticut. But anyway, what's at stake? Well, insurance helps preserve your estate. So whatever you go out and earn for quite a long time, and then okay, you get your house paid for, and you don't go into any more debt, and then the insurance benefits help secure your holdings from medical costs and retirement costs. Okay, you have some loss of income when you retire, but you have your benefits to hold you off. And if you don't have a big debt on your house, you'll be all right. So anyway, insurance, well, it helps meet medical costs. The older you get, if you don't stay in shape, you might have some medical costs. So you want to secure your house and your estate, your money, by, well, I like to put it in insurance. I like to put it in a whole life insurance policy. Well, go ahead and put in a whole life insurance policy, and you'll be able to draw a little money to buy, to pay bills, to pay doctor bills. And yeah, health insurance at an older age costs quite a bit. And there is such a thing as long-term care insurance, which you want to have too, in the event that you're put in a long-term care facility. So yeah, you want to have all that stuff to secure your home and your financial holdings, which can be secured in a whole life policy until such time as you need them. So this is how your money grows and is preserved from loss. So you do have something to live off of, and you do have something to leave to your heirs. You want to leave some to your heirs because, well, houses and wealth, they come from your mom and dad. That's where people get it. And people that really don't have homes and wealth, well, it's because their parents didn't give them much. And, well, it's sad to say, they suffer. You suffer loss because, well, you hit the road when you're 18 years old and you don't make a lot of money and you pay every cent you got to live. So that sets you back a little bit. So if your parents help set you up when you're young, well, you're ahead of the game. So how old are your children going to be when, let's say, God forbid, you pass on, and let's say 85? Well, your children are going to be, what, 50 years old, 40 years old? Your children are going to be, they're going to be up there. But anyway, they're going to have needs, and, you want to go ahead and try to meet those. You want to help secure your estate. You don't want it to just go to the wolves. You don't want your estate to just go to the wolves. You want to secure it for your grandkids and your children, and so they have something. And yeah, you'd like to make a nice wedding gift or a nice, gift when your children get started, going out into the world. Well, we would rather that they, just went right from your house to owning their own home. Stay home, save your money, save up a down payment, get established in your job, get a couple raises under your belt, get some licenses under your belt, and then just go ahead and move right in to your own home and be well set up. And yeah, you can help that out with some wedding gifts too. But anyway, getting a good start on things really saves you a lot in the long run. So anyway, what you want to do is be heavily insured. And you would rather do that than be at risk. So anyway, the Democratic Party has insurance. Why do people like unions? People like unions because we get them in insurance. We get them like the Hartford of Connecticut, disability insurance. We get the Hartford of Connecticut employee insurance, and we also get them like life insurance and health insurance, because in the event that you are hurt on the job, the bills are going to come due anyway. If you're hurt on the job while you're young, the bills are going to come due anyway. And you got to have something. You got to have Social Security. You got to have Medicare. You got to have some form of health insurance, or you and your family are going to suffer. Believe me, you're going to suffer a little bit. So you want to be heavily insured your whole life from loss, so that like what you can set aside or what you can hold in a whole life insurance policy, well, it doesn't go for naught. that does help you. It ends up helping you. So yeah, you want to be heavily insured for health insurance in the event that you are, hurt or injured or become sick on the job. If you suffer a catastrophic disease, they can wipe out everything. They can wipe out your house. They wipe out everything. And so you want to be heavily insured so that you have something for your wife and kids. And so you want to go ahead and get insurance. So it's not reasonable to ask these men to take very serious risk and risk very serious injuries and diseases if you're not going to insure them and their families. So yeah, we want you to have that, and we're not ashamed of it. So what's the problem? Well, there's a lot of people in what is called the secondary workplace. The people in the primary workplace, they're doing pretty good. The people in the secondary workplace, okay, they don't have insurance, and a number of them are paying rent. And in the event that they become sick or injured, well, they can suffer a catastrophic loss, and that affects their children, their husband, their wife, their mom, their dad, everybody. And we don't want families set back like that, and we don't want people forced to even participate in the secondary labor market. The secondary labor market is primarily just services for people in the primary labor market. The people in the primary labor market, they can get along. We don't want all these people in these low-paying jobs in the secondary labor market to suffer. Why have them suffer? So yeah, we are for some type of guaranteed income, some type of benefit, some type of social security benefit for people, so they're not forced into the secondary labor market, which is often a temporary service as well. We don't want these people forced to do that, forced to suffer lifelong poverty, forced to suffer lifelong hazards in a secondary labor market, in a service capacity. The people in the primary labor market, they're well able to take care of themselves. And of course, the upper echelon, the people, that make a lot of money, they don't need you to serve them. They got plenty of money. They can take care of themselves. And so, why should people suffer in the secondary labor market? It is an outgrowth of the 50s and the 60s. In the 50s and the 60s, okay, we had so much production capacity that we just don't even need that many people to produce. Okay, so there's a lot of idle people. So they just start having make work and secondary labor jobs. Like a dry cleaner, a fast food place, a pretty good restaurant, a tavern, an amusement park, being, serving as a park person, serving in a park. Just these secondary labor jobs that aren't really in the primary labor market, like somebody like on the line at General Motors, or like somebody, in the steel mill, or like somebody working as a defense contractor in defense contracting, somebody working at like McDonnell Douglas or Boeing or Lockheed Martin or General Dynamics or something like that. Somebody in a highly paid, highly skilled job, construction people, the skilled trades. Those people are the primary labor market. They're doing all right. They've got insurance. They're going to get along. So what about these people in the secondary labor market in these service jobs, doing laundry, cooking food, maybe cutting grass, doing things that are of service to others, not actually producing a product or good, but performing some type of service for people. These people can get along. We got along all through the 60s. I don't know what was going on with you in the 60s, but in the 60s, everybody took care of their own services. There's not that many people in services. Everybody's taking their own services. There's a lot of people in the primary labor market. It's usually a one-wage earner family. So there's a lot of people in the primary labor market, and there's not a lot of people in the secondary labor market. So now there's a wage earner family and a lot of people in the secondary labor market. But that's just never going to work for people. You wonder why people are suffering now. I'm telling you, they just don't give you enough money to get along. They just don't they want very high prices for things that you need, like a home and a car and whatever insurance, and well, they just don't pay that much money. So these people in the secondary labor market, they're suffering. Believe me, they're suffering. The people in the primary labor market, they're not doing so bad, but they are suffering too. They're suffering because they're not a one-wage earner family anymore. They're a two-wage earner family. Whatever. Some guy that works at whatever United States Steel, and maybe his wife is a teacher or a nurse. Okay, well, they're not. They're doing pretty good. I mean, believe me, they're doing pretty good. But it's still a two-wage earner family, so their children suffer. Their children are suffering the loss of a mother at home, and a mother at home that does a lot for you, and you really don't know it until later on in life when you got to do your job and your housework yourself, or not have a housework, not do housework. Okay, if you don't do housework, okay, you go out and have all these services. Well, that's where your money goes. These people like in service jobs and in the secondary labor market, they can't go out and have people do services for them. They'll be wiped out. And like these people in the primary labor market, they're doing pretty good. Okay, having somebody do their services for them, that eats up a lot of it. That takes a lot of it away. So anyway, the two-wage earner family is not the answer. But anyway, insurance is. So being heavily insured throughout life, yes, that's a good deal. So you want a whole life policy, a health policy, and yes, a disability policy, and you want employer's insurance too. And so how do we do this? Well, there's such a thing as an insurer's insurance. So people have insurance on insurance on insurance. So it's a bunch of redundancy, and it's a bunch of insurance on insurance on insurance. So that's how we're able to do this. So we have lots of people involved in this. And so when there is whatever, a stock market loss or a drop in the interest rates, there's so much involved that a little wind doesn't bother you. You got whatever, quite a bit of life insurance in force. And so a little wind doesn't bother you. And yeah, you have professional money management. You're getting the value of professional money management. Some people that are really, from people that are really professionals. And so it's not just, somebody saying they are. So anyway, you want to be heavily insured. And you don't, okay, what does being heavily insured give you? Okay, you're going to get benefits. And what does benefit give you? Okay, pocket's going to get a little loose. You're going to say, hey, I can spend now. So it does induce a little spending. It does induce a little spending being on benefits of one type or another, because you feel like, okay, I got a secure income now. And, I can spend money. And well, in the event that something bad happens, I'm covered. And so you think you're free to spend money, which is pretty much true. You are free to spend money. So that does induce spending. And okay, that does help sellers out. That helps sellers out a little bit. So anyway, it's not all bad. It's pretty good. So anyway, I got to go, and let's keep in touch. And go ahead and let's have a chat. Go ahead and send me something to chat about. We'll see you later. Bye-bye.